Hi everybody, welcome to Yoga Live. My name's Deanna and I'm the director of the wellness department at G-Bon in Buffalo, New York. And today I'm going to be leading you through about a 35 minute slow flow yoga class today. We're going to start really simple and really ease into our body by coming to a comfortable seat first. If you have a nice yoga mat or a fitness mat, some kind of soft surface that's stable so you're not moving around, that would be ideal. Also, if you want to play some music that resonates with you in the background on a low volume so you can still hear my cues, go for it. Whatever helps keep you at ease and so you enjoy the session. So we're going to start in a comfortable seat. So we're not going to be starting in our traditional child's pose or Supta Baddha Konasana. So we're going to be really sitting up tall. You can sit like a pretzel, or if you want to come onto your knees and sit your tush on the backs of your heels. You can even tuck your toes underneath to stretch the arches. Whatever feels good for you. We'll be here for a few minutes or so for our integration, which is a warm-up. So I'm going to be sitting on my tush, on top of my heels, sitting up real tall. Place your hands on top of your knees. Really lengthen through the crown of your head, all the way to the ceiling. Really feel your spine lengthen. And gently close your eyes. And notice each in-breath and out-breath. Are you inhaling through your nose or your mouth? Take this time to do a scan from your breath to your body, noticing how you're feeling today, what needs some extra light and love and attention. Maybe some deeper breaths, inhales and exhales through the nose. And really start to pay attention to your own natural rhythm and sound of your breath. Ujjayi breaths are inhales and exhales through the nose, which should be completed throughout the duration of the practice, which is an inhale through the nose, and when you exhale, it's going to have a slight constriction in the back of your throat as you exhale through the nose, sounding like a wave. And I'll give you a little prelude to it. So inhale, exhale. It could be audible, kind of like a Making sure each breath isn't forced. It's just fluid flowing into one another, just like a wave. Ujjayi breaths are served to build heat in the body. It's also called the victory breath or the breath of fire. And take this time to make a dedication or an intention for your practice, whether it's a mantra, a phrase, something that promotes positivity, or something that you'd like to follow throughout your life that helps keep you in the present moment and keeps you stable and grounded. You can dedicate your practice to a certain person, an entity, anything. If you're thinking about somebody special, you could dedicate this practice to them. But ultimately, it's here to serve you. And together we'll take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Feel the tongue at the roof of your mouth and exhale. And gently start to flutter your eyes open. Inhale your arms up overhead, reaching your fingertips all the way to the ceiling with your eye gaze right above. Palms come together to touch, and on an exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Inhale your arms up overhead. Palms come to touch. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Keep your shoulders down, away from those ears. One more inhale. Reach your arms up, overhead. Palms come to touch. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Very nice. If you want to come off your calves, go ahead and do so unless you're already in pretzel. And on an inhale, we'll do some cows and cats in this position. So inhale, open your chest to the front of the room. And on an exhale, round your spine, bring your chin to your chest. Very slow movements. Don't do anything fast because we don't want you to get any dizziness. Cause any unnecessary tension. Just really inhale for cow, opening your chest to the front of the room, shoulders down, away from the ears and back. And on an exhale, round the spine. Bring your chin to your chest, eye gaze down. Feel your back body really open up. As you grab onto your knees or the tops of your thighs and feel the expansion of your ribs and intercostal muscles. And go at your own pace here. Inhales, opening our chest to the front of the room with a slight hinge. And on an exhale, round the spine. Come back to center. Work into the neck. Bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Feeling the stretch in the left side of the neck. Really stay lifted, lengthen. Keep your shoulders down. And then start to bring your chest a little bit more down. And then you'll feel the stretch more on the side/middle of your neck. That tends to be a lot of individuals' target points. You can extend your arm out on the side and gently place your right hand on top of your head and apply gentle pressure if you need a little bit more help. Release your right hand down at your side. Go ahead, bring your left ear to now your left shoulder. Feeling the flexion on the right side of your neck, staying lifted and lengthened. If you want to extend your right arm now, place your left hand gently on top of your head. You can apply gentle pressure. You don't want to force your hand on your head. Take one more inhale. On an exhale, tilt your chin a little bit more down. You'll feel more of the stretch now in the mid-right region of your neck. You can roll out your wrists with your fingers. Spread out your fingers and then make a fist. Work out into the forearms. Come back to center. Inhale here. Exhale, bring your chin to your chest. Let your head and neck really hang here. Stay lifted. Really squeeze that belly up and in. And feel the flexion all down your spine. On an inhale, reach your chin back to center. And then start to reach your chin up towards the ceiling very gently as you bring your eye gaze to the wall behind you. Splaying out your ribs and chest slightly, keeping your shoulders down. And then you can come back to center. Very nice. Go ahead and make some neck rolls 3 times in one direction. Slow and controlled, making sure that you're coming all the way down and then bringing your eye gaze up at the ceiling. We don't want to miss that point. And once you've reached 3 times around in a circle, go ahead and reverse the direction, rolling your neck. It tends to be the most tense area of your body. I mean, maybe not more so than your hips, but it's just as sore. You tend to slouch all day. We're sitting in front of a computer. Our computer is not eye level. We'll be looking down and then cause tension in our tracts. It's always important to do some counter poses, which is really opening up that chest, just like we did in cow. So once you're done with your neck rolls, let's come onto your hands and your knees for tabletop position. Place your left hand in the middle of your mat in line with your heart. And on an inhale, reach your right arm all the way up to the ceiling. Stay here. On an inhale, lengthen your crown of your head forward towards the wall behind you. And on an exhale, twist up to the ceiling a little bit more deep. One more inhale here. Exhale, thread the needle, send your right arm through the space between your left hand and your left knee, placing your right shoulder down on the mat. Hips stay lifted. Angle your hips a little bit more towards the right to deepen this pose and square your hips for proper alignment. Place your palm facing up towards the ceiling, and place your left hand either by your face, out in front of you, or wrap it around to open up your heart space, placing your left hand in the crease of your right hip. And play around with the weight of your torso to see what feels best to open up your shoulder. Sometimes I energetically draw my right shoulder towards the right wall, not actually move my shoulder, but you'll feel the energy as you really push down into the floor and to the right. Start to activate even muscles as well. Place your left hand to frame the face. Inhale the right arm all the way back up. Roll out the shoulder by doing some arm circles, 3 in one direction, and then go ahead and reverse. Remembering to stay lifted. Place your right hand back down. Place your right hand in line with your heart in the middle of your mat. We're going to do the other side. And on an inhale, lift your left arm all the way up to the ceiling. Stretch through those fingertips. Stay here. Inhale, lift the crown of your head forward. And then on exhale, twist a little bit deeper. One more inhale. Exhale, thread the needle. Send your left arm through. Place your left shoulder down. Send your hips over to the left. Place your right hand by your face. Out and downward facing dog arms. Or go ahead and do that bind if you did it on the other side. Really opens up your heart space. Like I said, it's the counter pose of really hunching, so it's really important that you're incorporating that on a daily basis, or it causes some chronic pain. And bring it into any and all sensations that you feel right now. If you're feeling a little tense in the left hip or the left shoulder, breathe into those spaces and feel everything open up. Place your right hand to frame the face. Inhale the left arm all the way back up. Open up that heart space to the left of the room. Go ahead, make some arm circles. Just like we did on the other side. Warming up the shoulder blade, activating our arm muscles and opening up. Placing our left hand down on the mat. Tuck your toes beneath you. And press into the mat and puff up the space between your shoulders. You're really rounding like cat. Squeeze your belly up and in. And on an exhale, lift your knees about an inch off the mat. You're only lifting your knees up. You're not moving your legs, you're not moving any position, but you're just rounding and lifting the knees up. Keeping your tailbone down, eye gaze right in between your hands. Squeeze those abs. And on an exhale, walk your right foot out as if you're going into plank. But we're still rounding our left toes on the mat. And on your next exhale, extend your left leg. You're in plank now. Keep your hips down, belly up and in, shoulders over the wrist creases. On an exhale, extend your legs, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Very nice. We want to be in an inverted V shape, really pressing the earth away from you. You don't want to put any weight or shoulders over your wrists. You want to press the earth away from you, sending your belly towards the top of your thighs. You want to aim to bring your heels down into the earth. Your feet are hip-width distance apart. If you have to bend your knees deeply to release your hamstring tension or your lower back, that's completely fine. And then as time goes on, you just work to straighten the legs. Go ahead, pedal it out. Lifting one heel, lifting the other heel. On your next inhale,
Lift both heels up, come onto your tippy toes. And on an exhale, slowly melt your heels down to the earth. Inhale, lift your heels all the way up to the ceiling. Exhale, slowly melt your heels down to the earth. One more, come onto your tippy toes, lift those heels. And on the exhale, take baby, tiny steps over to your hands. As you get closer to your hands, bear more weight in your fingertips. Separate your feet hip-width distance apart or wider. Bend your knees deeply and let your belly nestle on top of your thighs and come into a forward fold. Letting your head and neck hang heavy. Grasping either elbows, rock side to side. Or if you want to just find some grounding stability, just stay still. Remembering to not look in any direction. I know it's imperative for you to see me, but that's why I'm really trying to describe my cues as best as I can so you don't have to strain your neck by looking at your phone or your laptop. Bring your hands to the mat and heel toe your feet together. On an inhale, come up halfway, grabbing onto your shins and extending your back and spine to the wall in front of you. Keeping your eye gaze straight down, lengthen your neck. On an exhale, bring your hands to your mat and bring your knees back down so that you're back into tabletop. Send your hip points forward so that you have a flat spine, but you're not sinking your hips all the way down. You really want to find stability. So squeeze those abs, press the earth away from you, and make sure you're in a straight line. And on an exhale, send your shoulders past the wrist creases, come forward. Exhale, slowly come down all the way onto your belly. That's a modified chaturanga. And on an inhale, baby cobra. Placing your hands right by your chest. And on an inhale, lift only your chest off from the mat. Lifting up, pressing through the tops of your feet into the mat. Legs are engaged, glutes are engaged. Really squeeze those muscles on the backside body. And then bring your forehead down to the mat. Very nice. Inhale, open your chest to the front of the room. Keep those shoulders down, your elbows really in. Squeeze those back muscles. Exhale, bring your forehead down to the mat. Inhale, lift. This time, lift your hands off the mat. Only use your back muscles. Squeeze those glutes. Zip the legs together. Slowly lower your forehead down to the mat. Go ahead and windshield wiper the legs back and forth. Very nice. Bring your forehead down to the mat, and we're going to go into full cobra. On an exhale, press into your hands, extend your arms right out in front of you, and only lift your chest. If you have to, walk your hands out a little bit further away from your body so that you're not straining your back in any way. If it's feeling a little tense, walk your hands out. If you think that you can go a little bit deeper, you can come into upward facing dog, which is your hands right by your hip creases, really pressing into the tops of your feet. And notice how my legs are lifted off from the mat, as well as my hips. But that's as if you get more advanced. So bring your forehead back down to the mat. Tuck your toes beneath you. Place your hands right underneath the elbows. Hug the elbows in towards the body. Lift the knee caps off the ground. Really squeeze the glutes, squeeze the quads, squeeze the hamstrings. And on an exhale, press into your hands, hug those elbows close into your torso, and come into plank. And then immediately come into downward facing dog. I know that was a little bit of a challenge for our slow flow, but we had a really nice slow warm up. Inhale, lift your heels up. Bend your knees, eye gaze comes in between the hands. Step or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, hands come to your shins. Come up halfway for your halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Hinge at the hips, slight bend in the knee as you bring your nose down to your knees, hands by your sides, letting your head and neck hang heavy. On an inhale, root to rise, bring your arms up and over your head, bring your palms together, look at your fingertips,
Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Take an inhale here to reset. And release your hands down by your sides. Ground all four corners of your feet for Tadasana, which is the mother of all poses, also called mountain pose. So really ground through those feet. Feel the earth beneath you. Squeeze your legs in towards each other and up. Belly up, tight. Roll your shoulders back and away from the ears. Palms face forward. Chin is level, parallel to the floor. Eye gaze is straight ahead, and really think as if there's a string on the top of your head and someone's pulling it, or really lengthening your spine. Everything should be on fire right now. Everybody may think you're just standing, but you're activating all your muscles here. Inhale, reach your arms up and over your head. Look at your fingertips. Exhale, bend. Tilt forward, forward fold. Release your hands by your sides. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands down and step into your downward facing dog. And that's where you would usually put in chaturanga. We tried that modified chaturanga earlier. But as time goes on and you become more comfortable, we'll include those in today's course. Inhale, reach your right leg up. Flex the toes towards your face. Keep that left foot grounded and the heel down. And really angle that right heel up towards the ceiling, keeping those hips squared. Really press energy through that right leg, through the right heel, as if you're going to press onto the wall behind you. And on an exhale, warrior one. Send your right foot in between your hands. Plant the left heel down. Keep your right knee bent over your right ankle. Keep that left leg straight. Inhale your arms up overhead, pinkies face in towards each other. Lift up and out of the waist. Send that right hip point back, left hip point forward, so that your hips are squared and in one line. People tend to do warrior two facing forward, which is just making the foot parallel to the edge of your mat and everybody faces forward. But that's not the case. You want to angle your left toes at the top left corner of your mat and see how your hips start to close. That's warrior one. Inhale, your arms up overhead. And on an exhale, plant your hands to frame the right foot, step back into your downward facing dog. Remember, press away from your hands so that your belly comes on top of your thighs. That will help you step into these poses. Inhale, lift the left heel up, angle the heel towards the ceiling, toes point straight down towards the earth. And on an exhale, warrior one, send your foot in between your hands, plant that right heel down, angle the right toes at the top right corner of your mat, left knee over left ankle, toes point straight ahead on the left foot. And once you ground your feet, inhale your arms up overhead. Pull that belly up and in, pull out of the waist, reaching through your fingertips, pinkies face in towards each other to activate the arm muscles. Left hip point back, right hip point forward. And on an exhale, plant your hands to frame the left foot, step into your downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees. Exhale, step or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, hinge at the hips, bring your nose to your knees slightly. Inhale, root to rise, arms come all the way up overhead. Look at your fingertips, squeeze your glutes. And on an exhale, sit your hips down and back, chair pose. Separate your hands, bring your pinkies in towards each other. Pull your belly up and in, reach your tailbone down. Look down at your toes, make sure that they're still visible. If they're not, bear more weight in your heels. Reach your tailbone down so that you're not curving your spine. That keeps stability in your whole entire body, protects your hips, your spine, and even gives you some nice abdominal muscles here. And on an exhale, forward fold. Hinge at the hips, straighten the legs slightly with a slight bend in your knee. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands down, step into your downward facing dog. Very nice, everyone. Inhale, lift the right leg up, flex the right toes down towards the earth, and you heel
point straight up towards the ceiling. And on an exhale, send your right foot in between your hands, warrior one more time. Plant the left heel down. Right toes point straight ahead. Right hip point back, left hip point forward. Inhale the arms up overhead. And on an exhale, peel the arms open, warrior two. The back edge of your left foot is now parallel to the back edge of your mat. Your right toes are still pointing straight ahead, but if I were to draw a line from your right heel to your left foot, it should intersect at the left arch. So go ahead and make your adjustments as you need. Extend your arms out by your sides. Torso is pointing at the left side of the room. We're now straight ahead. Look at your right knee. Make sure you still see your big toe. If you don't, you have to bring your right knee back towards the wall. Bring your eye gaze towards your fingertips. Your chin should be in line with your right shoulder. And on an inhale, flip the front palm, reach your right hand up and back. Peaceful warrior or reverse warrior. We tend to lift up and out of the hip when we come up and back, so make sure that you sit a little bit deeper in that lunge. Take one more inhale. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down to frame the right foot. Step into downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg up, point the toes down towards the earth. Really press the energy through the left leg. Really feel the muscles tighten. And on an exhale, warrior one. Hugging the left knee in close to your body, then placing your foot down. Angle your toes at the top right corner of your mat with your right foot. Left toes point straight ahead. Inhale the arms up overhead, shoulders down and away from the ears. On an exhale, open up warrior two to the right side of the room. Back edge of your right foot parallel to the back edge of the mat. Keep your hips down, belly up and in, shoulders down and away. Lift through the crown of your head. Extend your arms out at your sides and bring your eye gaze right at your fingertips. Flip the front, inhale your left arm up and back, peaceful warrior. Placing your right hand just gently on the back of your right leg anywhere. On an exhale, cartwheel the hands down, bring the left foot. Step into downward facing dog. Let's take a cleansing breath together. Take the deepest inhale of the day through the nose. Fill up. Hold at the top. Wide open mouth. Exhale it out. Cleansing breaths release heat from the body. On an inhale, come onto your tippy toes. Stacking your heels right over your toes. Keeping your legs straight. Lower your hips down and send your shoulders right over your wrists in plank. Hold here. 1, 2, 3. Bring your knees down. On an exhale, hug your elbows in close to your body. Lower all the way down to your stomach. Very nice. We're gonna do, oh my gosh, I can't think of the name. It'll come to me. I wanna say Pharaoh, Sphinx. All right, bend your forearms. Keep your forearms down on the mat. Place your hands in front of you. So there's a 90-degree angle of your forearm and your arm, right at the elbow. So you really wanna push into your forearms. Keep those shoulders down away from the ears. You may have to bring your elbows a little bit away from your torso. And really feel your chest open to the front of the room and your back muscles activate. Keep those legs activated as well, pressing the tops of the feet into the mat. This is where the foundation of a lot of forearm stands come from. Pressing through those fingers, through those forearms. Keep your chin parallel to the earth. Lower your forehead down to the mat. Bring your hands out like a T. You can bring your chin on top of your mat. Take an inhale here. And on an exhale, listen carefully. Roll over your torso to the right.
placing your left foot behind you to open up for a twist of your spine and opening up the right shoulder. So if you were back to your Sphinx pose, or down on your mat, roll over to the right, keeping your arms straight, your palms touching the ground. Your left hand's gonna lift up, your left arm's gonna be lifting up slightly, and your left foot is going to be planted next to your right leg. And you'll feel the opening. Feel a little bit, some cracks here and there. Nice supine twist as you open your shoulder. And you should feel no pain here. If you do, you shouldn't come out of the pose a little bit more. Release your body back to center, keeping your arms out like a T, chin down on the mat. On an exhale, roll over to the left, opening your heart space to the right of the room, keeping your right hand and left hand down on the earth, placing your right foot to the right of your extended leg. Start to regulate your breath. Slow down. Come back to center. Untwist. Press your hands into the mat. Come onto your knees. And all the way back down for child's pose. Bringing your tush on top of your heels, extending your arms out in front of you. Forehead down on the mat. Remembering those dedications and intentions for practice. Breathing in nothing but good and positive energy. Just have a good start to our weekend. Keep ourselves grounded in the present moment. And focus on what matters. Our health, our values. Each moment that we experience, there's always something good. Even though it may not seem it at the time. Sit your torso, come back up, lift your torso. Now you can come onto your glutes. Extend your legs out in front of you. Extend your arms out. Start wiggling those fingers, shoulders down, away from the ears. And start to squeeze your abdominals as you round slightly to feel each inch of your spine hit the mat. Lower, those abs tight, mid, upper, extend those arms up and over your head for a full body stretch. On an exhale, hug your knees into your chest. Side to side. We're coming into a happy baby. Grab onto the outer corners of your feet or the inside of your feet. Really press your feet into your hands and your hands into your feet. Feel your hips open up and your spine reach the mat so that's completely flat on the mat. You can even extend one leg and extend the other at a time, or both legs to work into the hamstrings. But if you really want to just focus on the inner thighs and the hips, you could stay here. Okay, keep your tailbone down on the mat. You don't want to lift everything up. You want to keep everything lengthened, bringing your chin slightly down to your chest to lengthen the spine. Release your legs out in front of you. Take as much or as little space as you want for your Savasana or Shavasana, the last pose of class, also known as corpse pose. For a reason, we're just laying down here. There's actually more reasons for why it's called corpse pose, but we'll go into that at a later date. because today is really just about practicing, breathing, moving, connecting each breath with each sensation, which takes away the mental chatter that tends to happen time to time. And if those thoughts come into play, just acknowledge them and let them flow away. And remember what's important here. And that's you, your practice on your mat, the fact that you're here. Gently close your eyes. Release any expression. Breathe space into your forehead, the corners of your eyes. The tension in your jaw by slightly parting the mouth and letting the tongue float in the roof of your mouth. Allowing your body to feel completely heavy. Noticing each inhale and each exhale as your breath starts to regulate, slow down, and become fluid. Take the next 2 minutes of silence to enjoy your Shavasana on your own, to fully surrender your mind, your body, your spirit, and just be. When we come to an end, with the sound of my voice, I will lead you out through the end of your practice. Start to bring movement back into the body. Wiggle toes, wiggle fingers, rock your head side to side. Pull out the wrists. And on an inhale, reach your arms up and over your head for a full body stretch, stretching through the tips of your fingers all the way down to the tips of your toes. And on exhale, hug your knees into your chest. Come to a nice tight squeeze, lifting those shoulders off from the mat to really feel the expansion of the back bodies. Give this nice tight hug to yourself. And on an exhale, roll over to one side, letting your curves hit the earth beneath you. And when you're ready, come up to a nice, comfortable seat. Sitting up tall, bringing your hands together, prayer at heart center, placing your thumb right by your heart to feel your heartbeat. And taking this time to support and give love to all our dedications and intentions that we made for our practice. It was an honor to be your guide today, and I hope that you were able to connect your mind, body, and spirit and really feel connection within yourself and keep yourself grounded in this present moment. There is much light, love, and beauty within me, and I do see and honor that very same light, love, and beauty within each one of you. Namaste. Thanks again, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it, and take a look at my other videos if you need a little bit more practice or explanations. And as time goes on, you can see my more recent videos. I'll tend to get a little bit more faster. But yeah, take a look and try it out. Go out of your comfort zone. That's what I always say. All right, everybody, have a great weekend. I'll see you next week.